Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Write With Me. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome. I see someone is here already. That's great. Drop in the chat for me what you're working on today. Oh, I forgot to drop in what I'm working on. I will put that in here right now. Um, I'm continuing my research on Peter Crosby, and I'm still in. I'm still reviewing Mayor O'Leary's testimony. Okay. And I think today I will finally be done with Mayor O'Leary. Um, I had read Mayor O'Leary's testimony last year, but I didn't take diligent notes like I've been doing for all the other testimonies that I've done throughout this whole Write With Me series. And it's been about, I think it's about 2 months now, almost 2 months now. I've been doing this Write With Me. So I'm been going back over his testimony and taking diligent notes. And then after I'm done with him, there's another person, Colonel Miller, who I also had read his testimony last year, but didn't do diligent notes. And once I'm done with going over their testimonies, I will take a break from reading the testimonies because I've made it up to about a little over 200 pages in the testimonies, and there's 300 more pages to go. But I really want to take time to review what I have taken in my notes, chart out the people, see who was, their relationships, what some people knew each other back in the Civil War, and just really map out who everyone is, write little mini bios for the people I know for sure that I'm featuring. A lot of the folks that I'm going over regarding the testimonies, they stories probably won't pop up until like book two. I'm planning on this being a 3 book series. But I really want to have it clear in my head who's who, and what their relationship to each other are. So, but yes, but welcome. And it's 2 25-minute sprints with a 5 to 10 minute break in between. And I'm gonna get started. And again, I see someone is here, so please share, what genre you're working in, or if you're writing a novel, if you are working on a screenplay, or doing research, please share. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Welcome, Tea Leaf, Free Leaf. Wow, your project sounds incredible. This sounds perfect. I have about an hour. I'm just working on a fantasy novel and have some spare time. Thank you for sprinting. Of course. And again, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Welcome, Christina. Okay. How's everyone doing? And thank you, Christina, for coming back. Thank you. Um, I just got through reading Peter Crosby's proclamation. They had handed it over during uh, the testimony of Mayor O'Leary, and I read it. I've actually read it many times before, but it just struck me so differently today, and I'm going to actually share it with you here. And for those that don't know, so Peter was forced out of office by a mob of 600 people. And so when he was forced out of office, he was, and again, let me even back up again, because I never know who knows what about Peter Crosby or what I'm writing about. So he was formerly enslaved and he was elected sheriff in 1873. He was forced out of office in 1874 by the mob of 600 people. He then, and this is in Vicksburg, Mississippi, he went to Jackson, Mississippi to talk to the governor, Governor Ames, and Governor Ames says, hey, you were rightfully elected. Go back and claim your office, gather people to help you get reinstated or get your seat back. So he did this. He wrote a proclamation. He wrote, and they call it a handbill also, and he placed it in the newspapers. And so it's so powerful. I just want to share it with you during this break. But please put in the chat, any questions you have about anything. And I'm going to pause this for a moment so I won't hear the ding in it, but it's so, so powerful. Here. Okay. Citizens of Warren County, Republicans, black and white, under protest, I have been compelled to resign my office of sheriff. In justice to myself, my friends, to the party to which, by the instinct of self-preservation, I naturally belong, I must explain the outrage which, in the face of the law and in open violation of the Constitution, I have been forced to submit to. In view of the confidence and trust you have reposed in me, I avail myself of the earliest opportunity to assure you that my resignation was only caused by compulsion. Let me go back. Sorry. Okay. In view of the confidence and trust you have reposed in me, I avail myself of the earliest opportunity to assure you that my resignation was only caused by compulsion, the result of base corrosion, and on the part of the armed mob of the most bitter and relentless of our enemies. It was useless to resist under the circumstances. I stood alone, single and unarmed, in the midst of 600 of the most determined and heartless political banditti that ever disturbed the peace of any community, and by which ruffians I was commanded to resign my office. No one will question the peril of my position. I do not write this simply to elicit sympathy, nor do I do so to justify the step I took. I only state the facts. They speak for me. To stubbornly refuse to comply with their command, who will question the result? The blood-stained record of this abominable party is too well known to the people of the country, to the world, for the result to be a matter of doubt. It has no parallel in history. I yielded, I resigned. To whom? To a court of competent jurisdiction? No. To mob law, but no well-regulated court in the country could or will support it. The act was plainly illegal, viewed in the light of the contract. It is void. For anyone familiar with common law will know that any contract into which coercion enters is void. And this forced resignation of mine is certainly in the character of a contract. And no one will doubt the coercion which, when I state that I openly refused to resign before the committee that was sent to me, most emphatically refused. Wow. Therefore, by force of circumstances, I have been compelled to resign. I do here most solemnly pledge myself to contest this most unjustifiable and um, illegal usurpation of my office by parties who have deposed me. I enter my most solemn protest against the whole proceeding. For what am I charged? What offense have I committed that I should be thus treated? Is it because I am a Republican? Because I have since my term of office tried to deal out justice equally to all? No more. I challenge any of my malicious enemies to prefer a charge of dishonesty supported by evidence against me. I have always tried faithfully to fulfill the duties of my office in accordance with the requirements of the law, doing justice to all. For the same, in accordance with the requirements of the law, doing justice to all. Sorry, I was saying the same sentence. For the same, I now appeal to all fair minded men. I earnestly call for the support of my friends. Shall I call in vain? I think not. We have joined issue. Now let us fight the cause out of its merits by any and all means known to the Constitution and laws of our state. Citizens, shall we submit to such violent and lawless infringements on our rights? No. Let us with united strength oppose this common enemy who, by all base subterfuges known to political tricksters and the audacious mendacity of the heartless barbarians, are trying to ruin the prospects and tarnish the reputation of every Republican, colored or white, who aspires to fill any office of prominence and who are daily defining the constituted powers of the law and insulting those charged with administration. And then he signs in the Latin phrase, fiat justia ruit calum. And it's a legal Latin phrase meaning, let justice be done through the heavens, though the heavens fall. So hey, welcome, Shannon. um, yeah, so that was such a powerful statement that he put out. And can you imagine him being there alone, unarmed, being forced out of office by a mob of armed 600 men, um, forced to resign, and that was just one. When I first read his story, I first came across his story in someone's dissertation about the Vicksburg massacre, and I just found that to be just such. Uh, it was just it hit me at the core, and so I just kept researching and finding more things about Peter, and then this book I showed yesterday of Christopher Waldrop is one of the many books I read about it. Um, and so, yeah, I'm just so moved by his words and his courage to even put out that statement. And so that statement was read in a lot of churches. Yeah, I said, yeah, that must have been terrifying. And then to stand afterwards and to say those right, exactly. Yes, and it's so even relevant, to our political climate today in a way. I see a lot of actually so many references and things. I won't get into that right now, but it's yeah, I see a lot of parallels throughout all reading all the testimonies and so forth. This was very shocking that this was really 150 years ago. Um, and actually now 151 years, almost 151 years now, because they did an anniversary thing in Vicksburg last year that someone who's part of my Substack community, an incredible librarian, she has her own website too that talks a lot about the things that happened or for the congressman in the South. But she attended the 150th anniversary of the Vicksburg massacre last year and shared pictures and her thoughts about what that was like being there. But yeah, so and I'm always just so moved to be able to actually have his words. This is what he wrote um, in his defense and calling upon people to help him get his seat back. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you all. Um, as I just came across it again during Mayor O'Leary's testimony, because he handed that off. Because the thing is, uh, even though no, they're having this congressional hearing because so many people were killed. Again, it was a massacre. They really put the blame on Peter. They were trying to put the blame on Peter, and so as you can see, he was just trying. He did what the governor told him to do, and he put out the word to help him get back in office. But there were many people in town that were not having it. So, all right. So let's start the next sprint. Unless anyone has any questions or comments about anything, we can start our next 25 minutes. So, this is why I have such a deep respect for historians and people who chronicle the present and the past. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And hey, welcome, Shanae. Good morning. Yes, like I had read his testimony, I mean, his proclamation before, but I decided to read it out loud here. Um, I send you, actually, I took a screenshot of it. I'll text you the screenshot, Shanae. So since you missed the reading of it, so you can read it too. So I'll do that right now. Well, I do it after the sprint. I'm having a little trouble here with it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, right. Mhm. Okay. Let's see what's in the chat here. Uh, Thank you about my glasses. Let's see. The passing of information is seriously vital to how we contextualize ourselves as part of what my story is about, how information changes, how people want to turn history into secrets, how others ignore it out of ignorance or boredom, how knowing history can become a privilege and thus get lost, how people ignore history to survive or turn it as a source of hope, all sorts of things. I completely agree. I completely agree with you, Tea Leaf. And it's that's why I you know like my background is actually being a comedy writer, believe it or not. And sure, Shannon, of course, thank you for being here for the sprints too. um but yeah, my background is being, comedy writer. I wrote on Frasier's being a teenage witch. I've written comedy feature films for various production companies, and even developed a musical with Suzanne DePass just like a handful, like shoot, 2019, 2020. 2020 is when we took the pitch out to Disney. Um, but when I look at these stories, I've been just been drawn to history. Growing up, I really didn't care for history until I got into college and took an African American history class and started learning about my own history, because we only learned so much about our history, growing up. It seemed like it went from slavery to Jim Crow to civil rights, and that was it. But when I started learning about all the Black congressmen that were elected during the Reconstruction era, I'm like, there's so many incredible, rich stories here, and that's been erased. People did not talk about this, and as I started diving deeper and deeper, I was like, oh my God, story after story after story after incredible story, and I just feel like it's uh, my honor and duty to tell these stories, being a writer and so forth. And um, I want their stories to live. So I'm getting so emotional today. I'm so emotional today because of the raids that I've been seeing in Chicago with the Black people, my people, and how they just raided this apartment building of 100 people and just broke down their doors. They're all U.S. citizens, of course, and ICE was just, and the children were outside and zip tied, and um, it was in the middle of the night, and I'm just so heartbroken by what's going on here right now. So, forgive me, but I never say Happy Friday, but we've got to speak out about these things that's going on. Seriously. It's just not humane. So, all right, okay. Um, it's yeah, and I talk about a lot of this stuff on my Substack. Actually, my link for that is in the description. And I have my series From Discord to Harmony, where I've interviewed so many people, historians and civil rights experts, um, and some of the videos are already up on YouTube, like with Sharon Kyle, who's an ACLU board member, who gives a lot of great information and how we can, make a difference and change what's going on. So, all right. Well, you guys have a great day. Thank you for being here. And I just want to shout out, Shannon. She does her sprints Monday through Thursday. Shanae, I know you're starting with your sister Chanel doing write-ins. I don't know where you're going to have your platform. Are you doing it on YouTube or are you doing it on Instagram? You drop it in the chat so we can support you and your write-ins. See, Tea Leaf says, yes, I saw it too. It's not, thank you for sprints. I subscribe to you. Thank you so much. You sound like a very brilliant woman, and I can't wait to support your work more. Thank you. Yes, we got to come together for sure. And let's see, I think Christina, I don't know if you're still here too, But if you do sprints as well, just drop your information um, too in the chat so we all can support each other. So, um, look, we got a little congratulations, full session complete. So, again, have a wonderful day. And again, drop your information in chat. I see you guys this on Monday. So have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Okay, bye bye.